If you like horror, hit that notification bell, smash that like button, and push that subscribe button now.
What's the boogeyman?
Hello, Sydney. Welcome to my nightmare. We want the man who did this.
Welcome to Nick Push's Horror Channel.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Happy almost 4th of July. Today is the day. Oops, let me change this. Today is the day Beverly Hills Cop 4 or Beverly Hills Cop Axel F was released on Netflix. Here to talk about that tonight. Going to let some people filter in. Maybe they won't. I don't really care. But anyway, I was planning on just, watching this movie and reviewing it. Figured, what the hell? Why don't we do it live? Then I don't have to worry about certain things. Sometimes it's just easier to go live. And I figured, night before a holiday, a lot of people off work. Let's do it live. Of course, brainchild that I am, I didn't see that 100 other channels are live right now. So, people are having to pick and choose who to view. So, is what it is. You can only watch one. But appreciate everyone showing up. So let's talk Beverly Hills Cop 4. I had a lot of reservations about this movie, but I also had a lot of anticipation. I'm a big Beverly Hills Cop fan, especially Beverly Hills Cop 1 and Beverly Hills Cop 2. Can I watch Beverly Hills Cop 3? Yes. Is it good? No. But these legacy sequels are tricky things, and especially a legacy sequel, that's being released directly to Netflix. It's kind of like, oh boy, when you see the trailer and a lot of things look good, but then you see some of the actors in the trailer and you see, their age and how old they look. And, there's nothing you can do about that. People age. We're all aging too, These Beverly Hills Cop movies, the original was 40 years ago. So you watch, the trailer and you think, okay, yeah, they're old. Hopefully, they don't ruin things here. And, you're just like, okay, a legacy sequel that goes straight to Netflix. I mean, I have some reservations about that. But at the end of the day, what did I want from this movie? I wanted it not to be Beverly Hills Cop 3. And B, I wanted just kind of to have an experience like you're seeing an old friend, like you and Axel Foley are friends, like we're Rosewood, we're Taggart, and Taggart, and we're seeing Axel again, and we're enjoying his company. So did this movie deliver that for me? For the most part, yes. There were a lot of things about this movie I was pleasantly surprised about. I do have some nitpicks, some negatives. But what we're going to do in this review as I talk about it, and we'll get to the chat too. But I'm just going to kind of go through. I just got finished watching this movie maybe 40 minutes ago, if that. And I just quickly after it was done, I just made some bullet points. I got some good, I got some mixed, and I got some bad. And I just kind of want to talk about it. These are going to be my initial thoughts. I still have to digest this movie. I don't really know what the general consensus is on this, so I don't know if I'm going to be on an island by liking it, or if I'm going to be with everybody else. So yeah, let's get right into it. So right off the bat, good. We're going to do the good. Let's talk about the characters, because in fact, let me pull up the IMDb page and let's just go through character by character and kind of get thoughts on this. I had some concerns about how some of these characters were going to be and things like that. Not just how they were going to look, because I knew they were going to be aged. I saw the trailer. I've seen pictures of some of these guys. Like I said, 40 years ago, the original came out. So everybody has aged. No big deal as far as appearances, but how are they going to be utilized? So let's pull up the IMDb page and go through character by character and just kind of get some initial thoughts on this. So without further ado, let me pull this up here. Boom. All right, here we go. So here we go. Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. Okay. Let's go through character by character in this. For the main characters, we're not going to go through some of like the side characters and shit like that. But right off the bat, Eddie Murphy, of course, playing Axel Foley. Did he deliver? For the most part, yes. Much better, much more believable than the third movie, which you'll probably hear me say a lot. But was Axel Foley utilized to his full potential? For the most part, yes. I do have one small, probably extremely nitpicky part of the character and something he didn't do that I'm going to get to in my bad portion of this review. But for the most part, Eddie Murphy slipped right back into Axel Foley, which is all we were hoping for. And I believed that was Axel Foley. 100% bought that this was Axel Foley in the year 2024. And, he was on an adventure again in Beverly Hills. Next to him, we have Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who I actually was surprised at his part in this movie. I didn't think it would be as big as it was. But he plays Detective Bobby Abbott, who essentially is Foley's partner for the most part in this movie, or, part of a trio with another character we're going to talk about in a second. But I enjoyed his character. So he is a detective that ends up getting suspended and has to work with Foley to solve the case. And, they get some buddy cop stuff. He's a former pilot, helicopter pilot. And there's some good hijinks with that when they get into a helicopter later in the movie. But I enjoyed Joseph Gordon-Levitt in this movie. I was kind of surprised to see him, to be honest with you, because like I said, for a Netflix movie, they got a lot of big names in this cast. In addition to just the usual Beverly Hills Cop crew. All right, next we're going to get to a character that I think is going to be polarizing, and that is Eddie Murphy's daughter, Jane Saunders, or Jane Foley, but Jane Saunders she goes by, played by Taylor Page. Now, I believe, and I probably could be dead wrong on this, but I believe this character is going to get some hate. And it's just kind of my instinct on how these things go. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe everyone's going to praise her performance, but I think she's going to get some hate. I actually didn't mind her character one bit. I think any hate that this character gets is going to be unjustified, and it's just going to be people looking for shit to say. They're going to be saying the same thing that, I've been said in some of these other movies. They go, Foley is sharing the screen with her. Yeah, so what? It's his daughter. Characters, you have a legacy sequel. Characters' lives have moved on. So I didn't mind that he had a daughter. She is basically a lawyer who gets involved in the kind of mystery of this through Billy Rosewood, which we'll talk about in a minute. But she gets involved in, the mystery, and then Foley has to come and help her out, and they have an estranged relationship. I bought that. I 100% bought that. I thought her performance was good. I thought the character was interesting. I didn't think I first, as the movie was going on at the beginning, I thought they might play the "I'm mad at you, Dad" for too long, but they didn't ruin anything, for Axel with her character. I thought she was fine. I do think she's going to get hate from the general audience. That's just my instinct, like I said, on how these things go. But I enjoyed her character. Next, of course, we got Billy Rosewood, played by the excellent Judge Reinhold. Billy. He's not as utilized as I thought. And we're going to get to him. And let's just lump him and John Ashton together, him and Taggart, Rosewood and Taggart. We're going to talk to them. We're going to talk about them in another section. Next, we have Paul Reiser, who we're also going to talk about in another section here. But Paul Reiser returns, this time playing a deputy chief. Paul Reiser was, I don't know if he was Murphy's partner. Was he his partner in Detroit in the first one? I'm not sure. But Paul Reiser returns. Next, we have Bronson Pinchot, however the hell you pronounce his name. I can't remember. Dude from Perfect Strangers, playing Serge again. He's once again, just like Eddie Murphy, he slips right back into the role. And I thought, for the little screen time he had, I thought he was great. The get the fuck out of here. No, you get the fuck out of here. I cannot. Like I thought that was great. Those callbacks were great. We're going to talk about callbacks in a moment here. But Serge Bronson playing Serge again was great. Pronouncing Axel Ahmed, all that shit. It's great. Next we have Kevin Bacon, who we're going to talk about in a minute too. But I thought the cast was pretty good. I thought all the characters were pretty good. And most of the rest of this is henchmen and cops and stuff like that. But I thought for the most part, all these characters, moving myself around. I thought all these characters were pretty darn good. And that would be my first good with this movie is going to be the characters. Before we get to my next good, let's see what we got going on in the chat here. Davey Death Ray in the house stopped by before the stream, said, came by to give the stream a like because I will be live as well and won't be able to attend. See, I said, I didn't look into this. There's too many people live right now. Ronnie's live as well. I stopped in just to make a quick comment on him and Tim talking about this and Night of the Living Dead and some stuff. But he's live as well, so I didn't check. He said, knock 'em dead, Nick. Can't wait to check out this flick this weekend. Yeah, I would highly encourage you to check it out if you're a fan of the franchise. And that's right, it is Wednesday, Davey. I know you got your show. Thanks for stopping by, bud. Entertainment Wizard. Hey, Entertainment Wizard. How's it going, buddy? Says, heard the movie is a mixed bag and the weak point is the daughter. Yeah, like I said, I haven't heard anything about the daughter yet because I've been trying to stay away from everything today, everyone's thoughts today, because I wanted to formulate my own opinion. But just, I'm not surprised that you heard that because like I said, I think people are going to rag on the daughter character for, taking shouldn't be taking screen time away from Axel, but just for like sharing the screen so much with Axel, I think she's going to get some flack from people. And I think it will be undeserved because I actually enjoyed her performance and I enjoyed her character. Byron Weaver in the house. What's up, Byron? How's it going, buddy? And Adam Weaver here as well. Adam says Netflix is supposed to be doing Happy Gilmore 2, I believe. Either way, that was Shooter McGavin. Let's talk about that for a second. Yes, Adam is correct. I believe it is Netflix that's doing Happy Gilmore 2. And that was 100% Shooter McGavin in this movie. It wasn't just Christopher McDonald. It was Shooter fucking McGavin on the golf course. There's a scene where Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Eddie Murphy crash a helicopter on a golf course, and Shooter McGavin's there. He's golfing, and he, has a conversation with Axel Foley. And it's funny because, like, I saw it and I heard the voice, and I was like, sounds and looks like Shooter McGavin. And then it panned to him again. I was like, it is Shooter McGavin. Pretty crazy. He looks like all the characters. And like I said, it's so many years later. He looks old, and I wonder how they'll pull off that in Happy Gilmore 2. All right, let's get to the next good. My next good is going to be the nostalgia factor, and specifically the callbacks, because there were plenty of callbacks in this movie, plenty of them, but they were all very subdued. And, even the ones that were obvious, it wasn't completely thrown in your face. It was subtle. At the beginning of the movie, we get The Heat Is On, again, just like the car chase at the beginning of the original, that song. So I thought that was great. There's pictures of, Axel and Rosewood and Taggart and Axel and Paul Reiser and shit like that. There's pictures of Inspector Todd in Paul Reiser's office. All those little callbacks aplenty I thought were great. I mentioned the Surge stuff, with the get the fuck out of here. No, but I cannot. That stuff. All those little callbacks I thought were great, and there wasn't too many of them. It wasn't like Halloween 2018 where it was just throwing everything in your face. They had some space in between. It wasn't callback after callback after callback. And I thought that they had a good mix on the nostalgia. And if you're a Beverly Hills Cop fan, you're watching and you're like, oh man, that's great. Oh, that just like the original, just like part 2. And if you've never seen those movies, it doesn't hurt the experience for you. So I thought the nostalgia and the callbacks, I thought that was really, really well done. All right, let's get to a character now in the good that I glossed over when I was talking about the characters. And that is Kevin Bacon. So technically this should probably be in the mixed category. But we'll talk about the mixed part of it. But I thought Kevin Bacon's performance was pretty good. I believed his character. He is essentially the big bad of this movie, and we'll talk about it in the mixed part. Why I'm mixed on it, but I thought his performance was really good. He was very believable as the big bad. His reasoning for doing all this, thought was great. Essentially, he basically says, "I can't afford to live in the city that I'm paid to protect." Um, and you get that, right? You absolutely get that. He is a dirty cop, essentially. He is a dirty fucking cop, and he's pretty obvious about it. He's got $100,000 shoes or uh, a expensive Rolex, and he's very believable. He's not really a mustache twirling bad guy, but I thought his performance was really good. I mean, I've always liked Kevin Bacon, whether it's Friday the 13th, whether it's Tremors. I'm a big fan of the TV show The Following, which he's really good in. So many great Kevin Bacon performances, and I thought that he did a very good job as the villain in this. And it wasn't too over the top. It was believable, and it was just really good. It was nice to see Kevin Bacon. You see him like, oh, Kevin Bacon. So Kevin Bacon was really good. I already talked about my next good, the daughter character. Yes, I'm putting her in the good category. I'm sure I'm going to get some flack for that. But I enjoyed her performance. I enjoyed her chemistry with Eddie Murphy. I believed that was his estranged daughter, right? I believed in the reasoning why their relationship was, fractured. I believed, that she was a lawyer trying to help a client and she got in over her head, all that stuff. And there's a couple scenes in here where Eddie Murphy's trying to do his usual thing where, he tricks someone, kind of like in the original when he's going to the country club or whatever, and he's pretending he's got an STD and he's some gay partner of Victor. He tries to do that again to get up to some fancy club, and he's fumbling. The guy's not buying it. And she comes in and saves the day, and you can just see that, all right, it's in the blood, right? I believe that she's able to solve some of the mystery part that she solves. I liked the character. So daughter is also in the good. I got a few more goods. My next good, the story. I thought the story and, the crimes and everything going on, I thought it was really good. It's similar to, not exactly, but it's got some feel to us as a story wise. It's got some feel to Beverly Hills Cop 2, with the alphabet crimes. Just the way it slowly unravels and you see there's certain people involved and things like that. I thought the story was good. I thought the way to get Foley to Beverly Hills again, I thought was also good. If it's just, someone's dead again, and Foley's going on vacation and gets, into something somehow or sees something, fine. I would understand that. But I thought putting his daughter in there, having Rosewood involved, I thought all of that was really well done. So I really liked the story. I liked the way the mystery slowly unfolded. So I enjoyed that. Another good. Here was my biggest concern. Not my biggest, but one of my big concerns with this movie was the action scenes. I was worried it was going to be over the top, especially when I saw a helicopter in the trailer. And what I mean by that is Eddie Murphy's 60 some years old. I'm not going to believe that he's doing the same things he was doing in his 20s action wise. I thought they really, once again, subdued that and made it, believable action. One thing that I didn't like, one of many things I didn't like about Beverly Hills Cop 3 was there was some unbelievable action in there. For instance, when he's at Wally World and he saves the two kids from that ride that's going haywire, he's jumping, from different parts of the ride. It just was way too unbelievable for me and way too fantastical. And I was worried that was going to happen with this movie. When I saw that helicopter in the trailer, I thought there was going to be some drag out fight. I thought it was going to be like Fast and the Furious and shit like that. And it wasn't. It wasn't at all. It was more played for a joke, which I was very happy about. The next part, two more good. The shootout at the end in the mansion. extreme callback, or it made me feel extremely like the end of the OG, especially when Taggart and Rosewood have their little scene at the end. I thought that it was really bloody, it was brutal, just like the original. And then once again, it didn't go over the top. Murphy wasn't jumping from roof to roof. It was a believable thing. Now, the only thing that wasn't believable was they come through in the truck, and these other guys got the high ground and machine guns, and they don't shoot them. I mean, or they miss. Then that's not believable. But that's any fucking action movie, right? So I thought the mansion shootout was pretty good. And finally, my last good, the little ending scene. And, we've all seen the picture online, but Murphy's in the hospital because he gets shot saving his daughter. And for some reason, I think because Jane asked him to, his daughter asked him to, but you got Taggart and Rosewood sitting in a car watching Murphy, and he shows up in the backseat after Billy asks, a personal question. And it just, they go off to, get some steaks, and, Axel convinces them to get some steaks. And I thought that was really great for the ending, because it's just, it's how their relationship started building at the beginning of this franchise. So I thought that ending was really, really good. All right, let's get into some of my mixed aspects while I take a sip of beer here. And yeah, Byron says, I really enjoyed Kevin Bacon's performance. Yeah, me too. And it's not something I'd expect. If Bacon's in a movie, I expect him to have a decent performance, but I thought he was really believable. But let's get to the mixed. My number one, sticking with Kevin Bacon, I thought it was way too fucking obvious that he was the bad guy right from the get-go. Now, one thing I do appreciate is they didn't try to hide it. It wasn't some big mystery or huge reveal at the end of the movie that Kevin Bacon was, the bad guy. Once they get up to top and they see Kevin Bacon talking to, the henchmen, they know he's the bad guy. But I thought it was just way too obvious. The second he was introduced, when he's sitting in Taggart's office and Murphy pops in, like, hey, Kevin Bacon. Like, oh, he's a fucking bad guy. It was just too obvious to me. I would have liked a little bit more mystery with who the bad guy was, and I guess thinking about it here, we really haven't had too much. That's not really what this franchise is about, right? We know Victor from the beginning of the OG was the bad guy. The Alphabet Crimes, we saw him. We knew Alistair Wald was the bad guy in part 3. So, it kind of sticks with the franchise. But I would have liked if they're going to have a reveal halfway through the movie, which they kind of did, it would have been nice to be like, oh, shit, So yeah. Next mixed part. Taggart and Rosewood. I'm so mixed on this. So, essentially the utilization of those characters. So Billy is captured right off the bat, and he's not in till the third act, till there's 15 minutes left in the movie, maybe. So Billy's resigned the whole time. He's gone. Okay, they're trying to find Billy, which Billy being kind of one of the one of the main aspects to get everyone together, what they're looking for. I don't mind that. I kind of like that. But I would have liked to see more Billy. I just would have. And Taggart is now the chief of police, an old chief of police. And he's essentially like Bogomil from the first movie. Almost exactly. He is just done with bureaucratic shit. He's done with real shit because he's, all stuck with the bureaucratic stuff. So, it's just some of the stuff, it's just, I don't know if I buy the characters would be there after everything they've been through. Now, do I buy that, of Billy or Taggart would take the chief job and Taggart would kind of, be more like Bogomil? Yes, I buy of the two, that would be Taggart. But I don't know. Taggart's just, he's just there to make jokes about how much it sucks being married and how old he is. He's got to take these pills. He got to do this, and, he basically is yelling, God, he's the one that's yelling, God damn it, Axel, the whole time, and I'm just mixed on it. I don't mind it, but I don't love it. and there's a great scene 2/3 of the way through the movie because Billy is not in the force anymore. Billy is now a private eye. And, he is the one that was saying that Kevin Bacon was dirty the whole time, and nobody believed him, not even Taggart. But there's a great scene that when Eddie Murphy, basically calls him out on it. He calls Taggart out on it. He goes, "Are you involved in this? Billy said this, and he's like, oh, Billy, he never lets anything go, blah blah blah." And it's just like, I don't know if I liked that. But Taggart gets his redemption arc at the end because he shows up, realizes Axel was right, realizes Billy was right. He shows up in the mansion. Then we get a great scene, like almost beat for beat from the original. Billy's like, "I'd like an apology," and Tigger's like, "I'm here. I'm willing to die for you, man." So that kind of made up for it. And you get Billy, drop your weapons, holding up his badge, just like the OG. That's the right nostalgic beats. So they did make up for it. That's why it's in the mixed category. But I would have liked to see a little more Billy. And I would have liked to see Taggart, have a little bit more of a redemption arc with Axel too. I like that they're all still close. I like that they're all still friends. But yeah. All right, my next mixed category, and then we're gonna get into my bad. But first, we'll get to the chat after this. But it's the score. So many things of this score worked for me, and so many things of it, so many parts of it were just like, eh. First off, I would have liked to get more of the main theme song. Now, it was sprinkled throughout the movie, but different iterations. They even had like a sad version of it. And I get that. It's you can't just copy the same thing again, right? And you got to hit parts of it and you got to adapt. I understand all that, but I would have liked to get more of just the classic score throughout, so it's mixed for me. Like I said, they had the He Is On at the beginning, so that was great. But generally, I'm pretty mixed on the score. Wayne Turner in the house. What's up, Wayne? Says, "Hey, y'all, it's 12:54 p.m. Thursday here in Sydney, Australia. I was going to say happy 4th of July then to you, Wayne, but you're in Australia. You don't celebrate the 4th of July. Sadly, can't stay. About to watch opening day here of the Bike Riders in the theater. Enjoy the stream. Beverly Hills Cop is great, mate. Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate it. And enjoy the Bike Riders, my friend. Talk to you later." All right, my bad is very nitpicky. So I'm just going to get through the bad, see what's going on in the chat. Like I said, I'm not planning on staying on too long, but I just kind of figured I'd do this live, see if anyone was around. All right, my bad. Number one, and this is extremely nitpicky. Unless I'm wrong, we didn't get Axel's famous laugh at all in this movie. I was waiting for it, and I don't think we got it. And for me personally, maybe not for everyone else, for me personally, that's an iconic part of the character. Can Murphy not do it anymore? Is he too old? Did something happen? I don't know why they wouldn't include that, at least in one part. At least like dub it or something. Like, for me, that's just a classic part of the character of Axel Foley, is just that laugh. So I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get the laugh. My next bad, Paul Reiser. Not his performance, not anything about what he did. I don't buy that he would have been deputy chief in Detroit. I don't buy it one bit. I also don't buy that he would have given up his career for Axel. Now, like I said, it's been 40 years or whatever since we last saw the character. So people adapt, people change, relationships build, right? I get all that, but he's just some sleazy guy. So I just don't buy that he would be deputy chief. I get why they did it. Completely get it. You got to have Paul Reiser back, right? It's fun. It's Beverly Hills Cop. But for me, I just didn't get that. And finally, my last bad, and this is something I can't quantify at all. It didn't feel completely like Beverly Hills Cop. It should have, because like I said, I have all these goods. Even my mixed stuff, there's a lot of good in there. Like I said, Eddie Murphy was great. I believed it was Axel Foley. Something was missing, and I can't quantify it right now at this moment in time, because like I said, I just got done watching the movie. I don't know what it is, but something little, some little aspect. Maybe it was part of the laugh. Maybe it was Murphy not getting thrown through a window or something. Maybe it was Rosewood and Taggart, being there but not really being there. I don't know what it is, but it didn't 100% feel like Beverly Hills Cop, and I don't know why. So yeah. All right. So like I said, I was going to make this a standalone video, but I decided I'd just go live because sometimes it's easier. So those are my thoughts on Beverly Hills Cop 4 or Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one.